And the countdown is over. Welcome to a Facebook Live. And now we've got a severe thunderstorm watch until midnight. Zach Gilday here. We're twinning almost, doesn't it? Looks like we're twinning.
Red tie on.
Red tie, kind of like a grayish, bluish shirt. I got a little more grayish. Yours is blue, a little more stylish. But hey, want to give this update in between our 6 o'clock newscast and the 7 o'clock newscast on KXNW. And Jacob, that is pretty cool on VR chat. He's doing it. Okay. He's doing it right. You got the headset on right now. I haven't played VR in a little while, but it's so fun. Hey, Brendan, how are you guys doing? All right, let's get right to it. We don't want to waste your time. I do want to say that I wasn't on in the 5 and 5:30. Zach held down the fort, did the forecast, put it all together. Appreciate it. I was doing some judging for the Parade of Homes. Now, this is the Northwest Arkansas Builders Association. Every year they have a parade of homes featuring some of the builders that are in the area, local builders, and they do a range of homes. And don't just do the 1 million plus mansions, which are really nice, but they also have a smaller homes too. And so they kind of group them against the price range that they have. So that's enough about me. And got done with that judging, did it all day today. It was a lot of fun. And got to see some great homes and got to see some unique homes. And so enough of that. Let's get to weather. Let's show you. We've got a thunderstorm warning that is to our northwest. Now, it's slow moving. If you know where Inola is, this is right over the radar. So Inola is just east of Tulsa. That kind of gave me May 26 vibes when I was talking about Inola. But anyways, this is not May 26 type of setup. But look at all the lightning with this. So severe thunderstorm warning until 7:15. That includes Choteau, and you can see Mays, Rogers, and Wagner County. Does not include any counties in our weather coverage area. This is also moving very slow at about 20, 25 miles an hour at the latest. And so if we put a track on this, letting you know where this is headed, and you'll see that it's moving slowly to the southeast. So we'll take off the warnings on the label. We'll put it in motion. Look at all the lightning, though, Zach. That definitely blew up quick. And what's interesting about that is models don't have this at all developing.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why there's so much lightning because it's so humid.
Yeah, and there's a lot of instability. So any storm that pops up will develop quickly, and we'll utilize that instability. So let's pause that. Let's take this storm motion to the southeast at 25 miles an hour. For the leading edge of the storm. And look at how long it's going to take to get into Adair County. Now, I don't believe this left turns, meaning moving into Washington counties. This is mainly going to be focused in eastern Oklahoma and the River Valley. Next 2 hours, moving about 50 miles. So 25 miles an hour. In 2 hours, it moves 50 miles. That makes perfect sense mathematically. Here is a look at your areas that are included. And this is all kind of out of our weather coverage area until it gets to about 10 killer at 8:22. That's over an hour from now. So moving pretty slow. 7:30 exercises, you're looking good because look, there's no additional storm activity anywhere within our region. Now there's some trying to pop up. Let's take a look at some weather cameras, Zach. You were watching these. Decatur. This is looking west from City Hall, and you can see the clouds and the storms. That's definitely the storm activity. Notice how isolated it is. It's so isolated popping up. You also had your eye on Gaither Mountain, too. It looks like an orphan anvil, maybe a developing storm there to the north. We need some rain, hoping rain moves into the Alma area. So if we don't get rain this time, Zach, you were doing the forecast. What do you think we've got tomorrow?
There's a better chance of rain tomorrow for sure. Now it might be a little bit later into Saturday morning, but I think tomorrow better chance of that heavy rain, and we still need the rain. Still in a rainfall deficit for a lot of Northwest Arkansas. So yeah, and another threat for some maybe stronger to severe storms tomorrow. So it's just so humid. We got this boundary to our north,
Yeah.
and can't quite rule out severe weather. But again, not expecting any kind of widespread severe storms. Looking pretty isolated, and but you can see that one storm right there. So that could pop up right over us tomorrow, or even this evening. So I'm gonna have to watch it.
One thing I want to mention too is I'm looking at the radar loop, and remember how I said it wouldn't left turn? Well, it looks like it's doing that.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of
It is
taking
kind of
a
moving more of an east southeasterly jog. So I'm going to redraw this, and we're going to kind of go more like this motion here. So maybe it does move into southwestern Washington County. This is over the next 2 hours. Stillwell arriving at 8:36. So it's going to take a little bit of time. So probably not going to hit Madison County unless something else develops. But let me take you through what we've got for the latest severe thunderstorm watches. So you can see Carroll, Madison is not included. Carroll, Washington, Benton County. Those are the counties that are included in that severe thunderstorm watch. Here's a look at what we've got here. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of put this across the bottom so people know that there is a severe thunderstorm watch for parts of the area. So that includes 3 counties in northwest Arkansas, Berry and McDonald County in southwest Missouri, and Delaware and Adair County in northeast Oklahoma. So how are the models handling this storm east of Tulsa? They finally caught on a little bit. Check that out. So let's see what this does over time. So there's the storm activity popping up. Golly, it changes its tune every time, and that's because the forcing is so subtle. But there's a storm complex that's kind of moving through at about midnight. So it might take until about midnight. I do want to look at the upper level energy and see what's going on so we got an idea. Siloam Springs will miss this at the current moment. This is really extremely isolated, but I wanted to give you kind of a breakdown of what you can expect. So I think around midnight, a little bit before, is our best chance for rain and thunderstorm activity. But Zach didn't go super high on those rain chances. I mean, we are in a severe thunderstorm watch, and the models aren't perfect in producing precipitation. However, 40% I think is valid as the storms could pop up. So it's obviously hot and humid. Now, tomorrow, Zach, we got more energy moving in, and I kind of want to look at this. Limestone, as of now, in Newton County is looking A-OK, but there's that prefrontal trough that's kind of firing up storms. And there you see the satellite and radar showing that front that's moving in. I want to do some analysis because I've been judging the parade of homes, so I haven't really looked at any of the upper level support, what I like to call looking out the window. And so you can definitely tell the upper level energy is a little bit more to the north. And look at the drier air that's still over northeast Oklahoma. So Zach, just a little teaching on this, in case you don't know. This dry air right here is the nose of what we call a dry punch. This is more of the dry punch right here. But what happens when you have this orange colored air, that steepens your lapse rates by creating what's called an EML, an elevated mix layer, because you're mixing out the air, dry air, and then dry air is cooling rapidly because there's no moisture content, right? So that creates a steeper lapse rate, and that's why the thunderstorms are blossoming and developing where that dry air is. That's where your steeper lapse rates are. Notice, though, over time, which way is that orange colored air moving?
towards us.
Towards us, which means we're going to have the unstable lapse rates, which means we'll develop thunderstorms, most likely, and that will be later on tonight. Now, look at all the storms blossoming in Oklahoma City. How can you tell? Those are the blue shades. Blue shades means anvils of thunderstorms. Now, are we in the mesosector at all? We'll find out in just a second. Let's see where the mesosector is. So every time, just in case you're wondering, the mesosector is where they determine, of course, they got it over the tropical system.
Yeah.
So with GOES 16, and I can't wait to, by the way, GOES 18 is incredible, by the way, what they've got with it. It's they've got a bunch of magnometers that measure the solar energy, which is really cool, and the solar wind, and yeah, it's awesome. So it's already online with some of the stuff, but we don't have as much of it. I don't believe it's in operation yet. But let me go back to what we've got. So the mesosector here is where they take little chunks and they basically look at it every minute updates. Ooh, that is, by the way, Ernesto. Now, of course, the sun has set, but before the sunset, that's pretty healthy looking hurricane, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the convection, maybe even a little bit of an eye. So let's go to mesosector 2. Let's see if that's over us with the severe weather risk, potentially. So we'll see when it loads, and you'll see a little chunk, a little section. Where are you? They might only have one mesosector, which means they can do 30-second updates. Oh, there's my bad. There's the other one.
Yeah, Alaska could see some severe storms.
Wait a minute, why isn't that? That should be visible satellite. Yeah, that's IR. That's not right. So I got to change that. We'll go in there. Remind me to change that. Let's see if goes 17 has the mesosector. There's that. We're not even in a mesosector. This is our last opportunity here to see the updates. Oh, scrapping apples. Unless this is the wrong one. Hold on. I think someone changed this. Did they do? Yep, hold on. Yep, someone changed this. Stand by. Visible. And we're going to go east mesosector 2. I don't know why that's changed. That shouldn't be. Someone must have edited it. So let's go here. There you go. And then there is the satellite and radar. So this, we are under one of the mesosectors. Mesosector 2 on goes east. So you can see those clouds kind of rolling in, and then there's the storms that are popping up to the west. And we've got that energy that's moving in. Yeah, that's a pretty explosive thunderstorm development. So that's what could happen. If we go to the future track radars, let's see how this handled it. Not very well, Zach. So that's what it has at 6 o'clock. Okay, we got that at 7. And then we go to Megadoppler, and you got a giant thunderstorm that's severe warned with additional storms. See all the other ones popping up?
Oh, yeah.
This is why you can't trust those hourly computer models, composite reflectivity. They're just not good. They're not perfect. And then there's the thunderstorm activity. Now, look, that actually develops quite a bit, and that makes sense. So if you're wondering who's going to get rain, after midnight, it looks like, which is great for baseball games. You know, you got the Naturals playing with Justin Verlander pitching against the Naturals. That's pretty cool. And then Razorback soccer. But everything should be fine unless a storm rapidly blows up. But that doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. But Friday early morning, looks like we could get some thunderstorms. Now, Zach, talk about Friday evening.
Yeah, so that boundary that's well to our north. So right now we have that prefrontal trough. That's the trigger for these storms. But there is a front that's still well north of us. That's going to slip in Friday, and that's going to give us some more chances for rain, especially late Friday into early Saturday morning. So you could see some heavy rain with that. You can see it right there. Some reds and some pinks. That is some heavy rain for sure. Lightning. And even a low threat for severe weather once again tomorrow night. So we're going to have to watch it closely once again tomorrow.
So there you see the storm chances continuing Friday evening into Saturday early morning. By Saturday early afternoon, they should be gone. And then Saturday evening looking great. So Faith and Family Night, if you're going to Arbus Ballpark for that baseball game, everything should be A-OK. There's the severe weather risk for the day 2 convective outlook now, which includes Friday morning into Saturday morning. That's mainly for Friday night into Saturday morning. So Harry Potter, yeah. Expelliarmus or something like that. That's what have you seen Harry Potter?
No.
Zach? Not surprised.
Fair enough.
Not surprised, but that's cool.
All right, I've seen like a few minutes of it.
Yeah. Did you just delete the graph entirely? Probably.
It's gone.
It's gone.
And that's on your show there.
Let's see what the graph shows. Yeah, good question on the cooler air, Jerry. We're going to get to that here in just a second. But hey, it finally has rain. Not a lot. And then Friday, yep, it's got those storms.
got it.
So finally, it didn't have it yesterday. So if you're basing it on that, although it did have Friday morning or Saturday morning storms. But anyways, all right. So let's answer the questions here for severe weather potential. And let's go through some of this. So Zach for Gaming says it was awesome visiting the studio last year. It was super cool. Aviation shows 4Z to 8Z time frame. So that is 11 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock at night until 3 a.m. So that's about right. I've got on my timing 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. 8 p.m. because that storm out west will start nudging in. But, you know, the motion of these storms are not going to most likely allow them to hold together to, you know, produce widespread rain and thunderstorm activity everywhere. But we look off to the west from Siloam Springs.
Where you got mine?
Yeah. Let's get the mic here.
You got it on you?
Yep, I do. I'm going to switch you out here in just a second. Yeah, flip on the lights, sir. And we're going to switch this camera around because it's not facing the right direction. So let's go west. Oh, yeah, there you go. You can see the cloud cover rolling in, and that's the anvil from the thunderstorm. So anyways, yeah, we got some thunderstorm activity. But when is it going to cool down? Well, that's going to be later on next week. And the reason for that is we're going to have a northerly flow weather pattern with the ridge of high pressure shifting west of us. So you see how that jet stream is flowing almost straight north to south. That is going to bring cooler air, less hot air, less humidity, and seasonable temperatures. So upper 80s, lower 90s, not as hot, not as humid, not as stagnant with the air. But yeah, that's kind of the update there for you. And rain chances looking definitely pretty possible this evening, looking more likely tonight. And then they ramp up as we get into our Friday evening into Saturday morning. I don't think there's going to be tornado potential with Friday to Saturday storm. All the energy is lifting north. And tonight, it's going to be mainly damaging winds and possibly some hail, but most likely the damaging downburst winds type of weather. So that's what we're expecting. There's your timing.
It's Zach, and yep, I got you loud and clear. Oh, it's all good.
And we go back to here just to show you the frontal boundary. All right, you can load your show, Zach.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna shut this down here. Doesn't seem like much has happened. No, there's not much upper level support, but there is enough with that with those mixing, the elevated mix layer that's moving over and that dry air. No, tornado potential is not going to be an issue. It just is not. You just don't have a lot of upper level support. Yep, storm is weakening. And they're going to pulse up. They're going to flare up, and then they're going to kind of dissipate. Harvest Ballpark is good. No storms. No storms on the pitch for the Razorback game, which is starting right now. There's Harbor. And then there's Arkansas Children's Northwest. Wow, look at that crowd at Harvest Ballpark. Pretty good sized crowd. So a downburst, I only have a few seconds, but a downburst is when the thunderstorm basically collapses. And as it collapses, that air is sinking. So as it's sinking, it's cooling. And as it's cooling, it's getting heavier. And as it gets heavier and cooler, that process is a positive feedback process where it just continues to accelerate more and more and more. And then when it hits the ground, it spreads out in all directions. So that is a downburst. And when that happens, that creates some strong winds. Stand by. We're going to show you Zach here, given the weather update.
Your forecast first, sponsored by Stanley Steamer.
Tracking storms on this Thursday. Here is a Decatur view looking off to the northwest. Definitely seeing some storm activity in Orvis Ballpark. We do not want storms for this baseball game. Justin Verlander is pitching tonight at Orvis Ballpark. Temperatures are definitely pretty warm, again lower to mid 90s, and that humidity is making it feel like the triple digits for some. So here is that satellite radar picture showing that yellow polygon. That is a severe storm watch through midnight tonight for portions of our forecast area. Taking a closer look again, right now looking pretty quiet, but there is a severe storm warning just off to our west. There will definitely be chances for storms as we go throughout this evening, but right now it's looking pretty quiet. Temperatures dropping down to the mid 70s tonight. More dangerous heat tomorrow and more storms tomorrow. I will time that out as your news starts right now.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, so we're in the middle of the newscast, but I do want to show you something. This is called mid-altitude radio convergence on MARC, M-A-R-C. And this is a sign of a downburst. Right here.
It'll tell you plenty. Traffic already getting worse by car and on foot. Students returning to school, and with what's expected to be record high enrollment, KWH Friendly Hill tells us service concerns over traffic.
Yeah, I bet. Reed Timmer has been live a lot. He always is. Who is not? All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up here, but we'll be watching it closely. We'll keep you updated if that storm ends up moving in. As of now, everything looks pretty quiet. But remember, you guys are asking about red and green. So red are colors that show the rain or the hydrometeors in the storm moving away from the radar. And the green colors or the cooler colors is precipitation, hydrometeors, different things in the storm moving towards the radar. So when you have that away and towards, in that case, it's in the mid-altitudes and it's convergence, meaning they're coming together. So that's a sign that the storm is starting to collapse. And then when that happens, you can get those downbursts in terms of winds. So it's tough to say exactly who is going to get rain, but tomorrow evening and Saturday morning is the better chance of rain. So, well, thank you, Brendan. I really appreciate it. Hey, you have a good one. We'll keep you updated. And if anything starts rolling in, we'll be popping back on here. All right. Take care. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everyone. Peace.